Introducing Gaming Gurus, your quick fix solution to all of your video game walkthrough problems. Stuck on a game and don't know where to go? Call our hotline now, and our group of experts are available 24/7 to hear your concerns and do the research so you don't have to.
Hi, I just started Mario, and there's this brown turd coming towards me. What should I do?
Jump.
This is the Nintendo Powerline, a hotline service created by Nintendo to help video game players find answers to questions anytime they were stuck and didn't know where to go inside of a video game. Back before we had this, strategy guides listing out everything you needed to know to fully conquer any challenge you may have had inside of a game. But these strategy guides can only do me so good. Sometimes you just need somebody to tell you exactly what you need to do to proceed, and when that happens...
I just need you to answer a simple question. Is it really that
And
hard?
I just need you to stop being a dumbass for 5 seconds.
Get fantastic.
Oh, great. Up yours. Yeah. Good luck, you pile of Thank you for calling Gaming Gurus. This is Xalem.
We all remember the Nintendo Power magazine. If you don't, well, now you do. This is the aforementioned, a publication Nintendo started all the way back in 1988, giving us all sorts of insider news and upcoming details about the color red. And with it also started the Nintendo Powerline, a call-in service based out of Seattle, Washington, where people could call in and have any questions they had about Nintendo games answered. It essentially ran like your typical call-in service. If you had a question regarding where to go or what to do in a video game, Nintendo had what they called a video game expert ready to help you out on the other end of the line.
Hey, is it true that if you use Thunder 48 times while fighting the Master Hand, then die, you'll evolve into Raichu?
No. Okay. I understand why you'd think that, but that's not exactly true. See, you only need to do it 26 times.
So how exactly does this work? Well, you'd pick up a phone, not one that looks like that, one that looks like this, dial the Nintendo hotline, and you would be connected to some Dave or Dan on the other end of the line, ready to answer the age-old question of,
What the f*** do I do?
Now, as for the little-known secrets of the video game expert, each representative just had a massive book full of video game instructions, cheat codes, and anything else some 8-year-old kid might call in asking about.
Go left.
Now, as one idiotic Nintendo fan might wonder, what exactly are the qualifications for being a video game expert for a hotline service? And apparently for Nintendo, the hiring process was much more casual than you might think. You open up an ad in the paper, they ask if you like video games, and you come in and take a quick assessment on the few NES games that were out at the time. If you pass the test and you're deemed worthy, congratulations! You are the proud recipient of $10 an hour.
Quick, what color's the upgrade tunic from The Legend of Zelda?
One of them.
It was much more customer service based rather than video game based. Most of your customer service bases are kids, not adults. So it's less about getting them to the right answer and more about just calming them down, letting them know that they can typically figure it out, and sometimes they just need to take a break or think outside the box.
So the thing about these kids is they will believe anything. Watch this.
Hey, so I just cannot make it past this purple plant monster guy in Battle Kid for the NES. He's really tough. What do I do?
All right, buddy. Hey, just turn the game off. Go make yourself a peanut butter jelly sandwich, and when you come back, you'll kick his ass.
Thanks, mister.
Anytime.
But it's still not as easy as you might think. Sure, these game counselors aren't dealing with Karens calling the wrong number, hoping to save a couple bucks on their internet bill. But these are still kids who have no idea how to explain how far they are in a game, no clue to explain where they're trying to go. Couple that with the time period these games were released, sometimes it would be impossible to tell people how to progress in the game they were playing.
Okay, can you tell me exactly where you're at in Donkey Kong Country?
Well, I see a bunch of trees and bananas.
I get that. If you go out to the world's map screen.
What do you mean world map? This is an open world game.
What character are you playing as right now?
Cranky Kong.
Most of the time your calls were pretty standard. It'd be something along the lines of, oh, where do I find the 6th temple in The Legend of Zelda? Or how do I beat King Hippo in Mike Tyson's Punch-Out?
Punch him.
With my fist?
But every once in a while, you would get those oddball questions. Those that make you question your sanity and just think, how the f*** am I gonna explain this to somebody? You're telling me you're in the room with the gray bricks and not the other room with the identical gray bricks? How the hell am I supposed to tell these two Mega Man levels apart? They're not even the same game!
Can I please just get an easy call?
My dad said
Thank you for
that when I beat this game, he will come back from the store. But it's been 6 hours, and he isn't back yet, and my mom is crying.
So what was in it for Nintendo? Well, in Nintendo's eyes, they believed it would help foster a good environment and let the consumer know that Nintendo wanted them to love their product. Kind of hard to believe today. But to my surprise, Nintendo actually didn't charge a fee for their call-in services. At least until it wasn't absolutely necessary due to market demand. They weren't being asked to upsell products, they didn't advertise you to go out and buy another game, and I just think that's a nice change of pace from the Nintendo we know today.
Hey, how do you unlock Minecraft Steven Smash? I can't seem to find him.
Hey, buddy, yeah, you gotta pay for him. You gotta go to the eShop.
But I thought the 3DS eShop had closed a long time ago. I've been looking for him for a little while, but I just can't seem to find out where he's at. I mean, would you be able to help me find out exactly where?
Now, with Nintendo trying to foster a family-friendly environment, there were restrictions to what you could and could not say over the phone. One of the most prominent being you don't kill enemies, you defeat them, because when you restart the game, all of those enemies come back. Now, as far as more controversial topics in video games, such as this part in Manic Mansion where you have to put this hamster in the microwave, just don't bring it up. I just imagine a kid calling in to ask how to get a high score when playing Beat 'em and Eat 'em.
Calm?
But honestly, it wasn't that bad of a gig. Pay was fairly decent for a call center job, and employees actually had a checkout service where employees could borrow games to learn more about them and just return it whenever.
So how many games have you beaten?
Well, I've also played on the job, so I'd say in 1 year, probably about 600 or 700, give or take, on the Super Nintendo and the Nintendo 64.
You know, that is amazing. What do you think of Crash Bandicoot?
A band of what?
I read a lot of interviews about people who used to work as a game counselor in the mid-90s, and it seems like it was a really fun environment. At the end of the day, it's still a call center, but it's a call center where you get to work for Nintendo, playing video games, talking about video games. Sure, you're gonna get that call that'll make you want to drive your car into the wall, but from what it seems, the service was genuinely worth it.
Are you the one who told my kid to make a sandwich?
Yeah, that was me. How was it?
I don't know, you tell me. My kid turned off his game and now he's over there crying about it.
All right, well, can you tell him to stop being a little bitch?
With the service being as outdated as it seems, all good things must eventually come to an end. And surprisingly, Nintendo didn't discontinue the call-in service until 2010, which means they had to talk their way through this and all of this. The internet was just far too useful, so Nintendo had no need to keep an outdated service up online. It was a good little run while it lasted, a nice little slice in Nintendo's video game history, but that's not the end of the Powerline story, as the Powerline came back in November 2016 with the release of the NES Classic Mini. It was simply pre-recorded messages of a time once lost, but to see this piece of history still being memorialized, it is a joy to hear. Nintendo has always had this family-friendly environment and this embrace of its past endeavors, so this touch of nostalgia, I can't help but want to relive those memories of a time period far before I was even thought of.
Your manager. Give me your manager. No. Better yet, give me the CEO. I want to speak to him right now.
All right, I understand your frustration, and I want to make this right for you, so just hold on a second, and I'm actually going to put the CEO on the line himself. Surprise, bitch!
Man, how do you get fired from your own company? I made it! So this book was made in 2001, and today I learned that Pokemon Diamond does not exist. Nintendo officially confirmed it.